Okay, next topic is price list conversion. So conversion steps, if I ask you, can you tell me what are the steps? Like one is file to staging, staging to interface. Correct, perfect. Okay. But in case of API approach, so this is called as an open interface approach. It is open interface approach. We have two approaches. One is open interface approach. Other one is API approach. Okay. Here in API, like only two stages will be involved here. For example, here three stages, right? Here, file to staging. Directly, we can say staging to base. So this interface section is not there. You see, straight away, staging to base. Two stages only. Performance wise, it is faster. Maintenance wise, also it's good. If any larger volume of data, we can find much improvement in the, and we can do individual activities like update, delete, those kind of thing also we can do. So you will come to know other differences by using API approach and open interface approach. So API approach it is like, let's say I'm taking price list conversion it is. So price list you are really aware because you already worked in O2C cycle. And go to application. Go to order management. Here is the place whenever you create a sales order. While creating a sales order, you can see there is a price list, correct? So this is a corporate price list. Like this, there will be n number of price lists in the application. See, there are so many. These many price lists are there. So if you want to load the price list, then there is an API. So usually price list, if you want to create it, you can go with the Oracle Pricing Manager Global it is. Correct? You are aware this in the O2C and all, we have seen this, correct? Price list and then price list setup. In this, usually we have to enter like price list one and then currency, USD. These are all manual entry. So unlike manual entry, programmatically we are loading the data through API. Yeah, this is the price list it is. Already created price lists are there if you want to find out. You can check this will be stored into QP list headers. Base tables we are aware here. So this base tables I'm saying QP quality pricing list headers and then QP list lines and one more attributes pricing attributes. If record is not available, I told you what is that method? Yes, that is the second method. It is system last query. It's a QP pricing attributes. It is just check. Yeah, this is the table. Overall, three base tables. Remember this. Supplier base tables you are aware because we already worked out. Correct? Base tables, validations, API name or open interface name. You have to remember like that. Okay. Now, anyway, staging table is custom one that we'll create by referring this base tables. Okay. Now, API name we don't know as of now. Correct. Then straight away you can go to your responsibility that is integrated. Earlier we used to search in user guides and all. Now they have given this repository. Since last few versions only we are seeing this. Earlier we used to get it user guides. In order management suite it is. You can check advanced pricing. And for every API we have to use PLSQL. So through Java, through electronic data interchange, through business event, these many methods are there. But right now I'm taking PLSQL. We can't go. Now this is the API. QP price list for Then go to toad. Therefore, it's a very big package. Oracle only supplied to us. You can see locking, processing, getting and all. But right now we have to take process price list. If we go little up, you'll be able to see why they have introduced this procedure. Definitely you need to read. Then only you'll come to know why they have introduced this. See, from come here from this point onwards. These are all commented portion for your understanding only. They have given this Oracle people. Okay. So first one here is parameter. Parameter is what it is. API version number. The version of API. Usually one we can see if they do modifications, then it will increment. So first parameter is what is version. Second parameter, initialization. It will be only two values, true or false only. If there is an initial message list, if you are initializing initially, then we have to make it true or false. Then return values, true or false. If there are no return, if there are return values, this is also commit. Modifier should be committed. If you want to commit the records transactions, then we have to make it commit is equal to true. And return status, message count, message data. These are all 7 parameters are mandatory. Remember, for every API. You try to remember now only. Overall, version, init, initialization, initial messages, return values, commit, sequentially you have to pass. If you forget also, no worry. See, because, can you see here? Version number, the same thing only I talked about here, till years. Okay, these are all the 7 parameters. You must remember this. In every interview, they will ask, what are the mandatory parameters for any API? Okay. So can you try to remember this 7 now? Read 2-3 times, you can remember. Okay, fine, right? So you can see here, Oracle API will have return status. There are 3 return status: success, failure, unexpected. Okay, return status. I'll just show you. Somewhere you can find out. Oracle Apps API return status values. Status E also there. E means error, success, then unexpected. Just for awareness, I'm showing you all this. So that they gave any information about parameters. Can you see now here? Here, standard out parameters, return status. This is an out parameter. It is. Whatever you have seen earlier, these are all input parameters. See, 4 input parameters and 3 output parameters. So API return status will have a values here. Success. Your API is successfully submitted. And unexpected, that will return as a U. It is unexpected. And these are all different. Success, failure, and unexpected error it is. It will have some values here. Let me see. Yeah, these are all the 3. Remember this. Success, error, unexpected error. Your API will have 3 values, return statuses. So clear-cut explanation is there here. It indicates that API is good. A success return status may or may not be accompanied by any messages in the message list. So E means error, This much explanation is also not required. SEU, try to remember. Okay. Now we identified the API. So as of now, we did only one thing, that is base table gathering, and then after that, your API name. So what is the API name? QP list pub, right? Full name price list properties. You have to remember fully. Even I forgot. This is the API. API will have 7 parameters. So 3 in parameters, 3 or 4. 4 input parameters, 3 out parameters. Can you tell me 4 input parameters? Yeah, version. Yes. Init messages. Correct. The next return. Return is output, right? No. Return messages. Then return status is out. Out. It comes under out parameter. Just anyway, no need to struggle much. You have to go to process price list. I can see init message return values commit. Okay, you have to say in the sequence and the rest of the 3 parameters. There are other parameters also. These are all that particular API related out parameters, input parameters. I told you about mandatory parameters. Without this, you will not be able to run the API. Okay, clear? The API's approach is very easy because they only written every code. You don't need to go inside what is this, what is that. No, just we have to provide a values. I hope you got an idea now. So in case of API approach, only 2 stages. One stage is file to staging. Here, file to staging. Then second is staging to interface base table. Whenever you are calling base table, this is an API and it has some parameters. And these are all the base tables. So if you are okay, then I can start from scratch now. Now just 20 minutes enough for me to execute everything, to explain also. So first step is what it is, file. Once you get a file, to where you will get a file? Who will give you the file? Yeah, client will keep into one directory. It may be any directory in the application server. So usually you go to WinSCP, correct? This is called as an application server. We have a database server as well as application server, right? Then in the like this, somewhere you can find out one file directory. That they will let you know. Project to project it will vary. But who will give you that file is client. Client will keep directly through some web services. You know, right? Web services. Any idea on web services? Yes, REST and SOAP. REST and SOAP. These are all the web services. By using web services or some other medium, they will keep the files into this particular directory. So after this, your work will begin. Your work will begin with the staging table creation. So how many columns we need to create and all, based on the base table only we can verify. Okay. So I already have the entire code piece. I'll explain you. Usually you need to start from beginning. The first is here headers. The file extension SQL means like it will execute automatically. Right? So create table name. Okay. And these are all the columns. Okay. These columns are important. You know what are these columns? Who columns? Who has created? Who has updated? Without this, we will not be able to maintain a history. Correct? And these two, why it is required? Record status, error message. To handle the errors, we can use. And request ID. So the request ID is required because we'll run multiple times, right? Every time it will be populated here. Request ID means this one. You go to view. This request ID I'm talking about. Whatever your program related request ID will be populated here. Clear? And these are all the columns. But why these many columns is simply actually based on the Excel sheet we have to, or CSV file we have to prepare. Just only 4 columns are there here. Only 4 columns. See? One is list type. The title they have given clearly. Client only given. And description. And then currency code. So the rest of the columns are null only. It will be easy for us. That's why what we did is whatever the columns are available, almost 59 columns are there in the QP list headers. So simply I prepared by using QP list headers F4, or you can use TL. Go to script. You can go to table F4. This is a table actually. QP is the location. It's a schema. We'll call it as a QP is a schema. Location in the database. In this QP schema, this is the table is situated. So now click on script here. These are all the columns you can take. Okay. Just copy. If you want to prepare any table script, it's very easy. Take from base table or from interface table. And then you have to put name here, your client name, let's say ITM. And you are creating this into app schema, correct? You remove this QP schema. Instead of TL, what we have to keep here, we have to keep staging. Then what else available here? One is list type, right? Check list type. Is there a list type here? If you want to hide this output window, you can press F2. See, for timing only F2. This is a tool shortcut. Now, type, is there a type available here? Source language, only name they have given as well as description, correct? And then type you can populate by using API directly. List header ID, and then followed by all 5 who columns, and then which language you are loading. If you want, you can remove this. And then source language, destination language. I have taken it from TL. That is the reason why these many columns came. Okay. So remove this. Name, description, and then version number is also not needed. In addition to that, we require here request ID, whatever the data type it is. Sorry, number. If you want to mandatory populate, you can make not null. Then, other than this, error flag. Error flag is what it is. It's a varchar 2 point. Then yes, error message or status message. Message may be lengthy. Instead of 200, I'm taking 2000. This is the way you can prepare a script. It's very easy. Copy paste only, but what you wanted, that columns only you have to prepare. See, currency code is there here. Not there, right? Definitely you have to prepare that also. Currency code is also there. Over. Simply control enter. Missing right parenthesis. Yeah, extra comma is there. Check. Again, where it came. Anything extra? some embedded type. This is right. This is matching, right? Anything extra? Just observe. Creative. Okay. So you can add up the other columns here. Just copy this and keep it over here. Put comma. And then instead of name, I'm using currency code. This is your own table. Invalid identified. What is that? Name is already used. This is where we can create a staging table. Is that clear? So I already have a script with me. Same thing, I'll just simply create it. Is that okay? The script, I'll pass it to you. I showed you the way how to prepare. These many columns also not needed, but still it will be easy for us. No need to get confused. Missing why again? Same story. Name is already used. Okay, anyway, someone has created. Where? Someone is created. Commit. Like to commit all tabs. Choose no will commit that. That's fine. Now we have a staging table. So staging table is ready, correct? Now how to load the data from file to staging table? We have to, we need to develop a file that is control file. If I ask you what is the structure of control file, what is your answer? Syntax. Your part only? Control file structure. చెప్పండి తెలిసి చెప్పండి కరెక్ట్ అంతే ఆగుతున్నాను చెప్పాలి గడగడగడ అంతే లోడ్ డేటా ఇన్ ఫైల్ then percent one append into staging table name. పైకి చూస్తే వస్తుందా శిరీష ఎంతసేపు రెగ్యులర్ ఉండేటే కదా ఫీల్డ్స్ సబ్మిటెడ్ బై నెక్స్ట్ ట్రైలింగ్ నల్ కాల్స్ ఏంటప్పా ఇంత స్లో ఉన్నారు మీరు నెక్స్ట్ ఆప్షన్ ఇన్క్లూడ్ బై you have not practiced supply conversion. Same only, it's fixed, right? Everywhere. Definitely they will ask what is the structure of control file, syntax of control file. Have you practiced? Yes, sir. Control file structure, can you tell me? Tell me, Madhavi. చదవలేదా ప్రియాంక that is not my syllabus. I am not Oracle Labs and all. Huh? Yesterday you touched, right? Supplier, no? Huh? Throughout the course, what to see? I'll show you. Where is that control file? Yes, here. Check here. This, what is the purpose of this? Yesterday only we covered this. To skip the rows while loading. Load data. And this is for any special characters. So character set, it's additionally came right here. I don't know whether it will come in Google or not. Let's check. SQL loader. So this is UTF-8 unique characters. So this one I'm saying character set it is. This one. If you are loading only English and specific operating unit, then this will be helpful to you. Okay. You can see here running client tools SQL loader. Again is the database with UTF-8 character set. You must assign WE is a Windows ISO 8859 P1 or NLS language to client tools due to proper data representation. So in case of any special characters or operating unit specific, at that time it is required. Otherwise, you can remove also. Okay, but better use it. You can come to know. In file, ampersand one. So truncate, what it will do? Truncate. It will delete the data after that. It will commit also. Correct? It's an auto commit thing, correct? So now, other than truncate, what are other methods you have? One append you already told. Then next, insert. Correct. Replace. Only 4 commands we have. If you want to use insert, the table must be empty here. That have you checked it earlier? Yes. Okay, table must be empty. But usually we'll use append regularly. Even truncate also will not use much. Okay, append is the keyword. For repetitive loading, we have to use append only. The replace is not needed. Fields terminated by optional enclosure telling null also. And then column mappings. That's it. If you want to populate default value for record statuses, there is a keyword here, constant. Constant keyword is to allocate a default values. Okay. So, yes. So as of now, this one, some steps. These are all. First is create staging table. After that, create control file. I told you structure of control file and the important points. The next one is what it is. Register or move control file. Yes, to bin directory. The next one is register as concurrent program. While registering concurrent program, we have to use executable concurrent program as to request book. Submit for responsibility. So these are all the steps you are already aware, I know. So let's go with from this point onwards quickly. So many folders, I'm getting every time confused. Here in this QP or else ONT, I'll keep in order management because it is interlinked here. Bin directory. .csv files. Okay, you can click on this type sorting. All files will come at one place. What I'm simply doing is I'm keeping the file name as different. You keep your own name. Okay, because everyone is practicing, right? Staging table, let it be safe, or table also if you change it, you will get a good idea. Here, move. At a time I'm moving all the 3 files we need to restore. Header, line, and attributes. These are all the 3. If you look at here, it's read write only. We have to make it in executable mode as well. Okay. 777 means read, write, and executable. 3 privileges. So first header go with the line and attributes. So there will not be confusion. Okay. F2. Give your file name under executable. You are forgetting this execution method. So what we have to do is SQL loader here, and do not copy the same thing under executable. You should not have underscores. These are all proper naming conventions. So I'll tell you naming conventions. I think I already shared the document it seems earlier, correct? Let me see, is there a document available? Naming conventions are very important. This document, make a copy. Okay. So and I'll download and I'll explain you that. So this is the design and development standards document it is. Okay. Whenever you are keeping the names for any components, you have to go through this document. This is just a project specific document, but majority of the people has to follow like this on. We are talking about control file or script, right? Or executable script, correct? Executable name. You go like this on. Concurrent program executable, we have to keep like this. First, custom object ID with description. This is the client name, like how I have taken ITM. Okay, ITM, then RISE ID. So RISE full form is report. Yeah. So right now you are talking about here conversion. See, right? ID, which conversion it is? First conversion, second, 10th conversion. That ID we have to give. And then next is description here. Now you tell me according to this. It has three parts: client name, RISE ID, followed by description. You tell me now the name. You should not give like underscores and all in the executable short name. These are all it's wrong way of giving the naming conventions. You tell me. First is ITM space RISE ID. Let's say conversion. Which conversion is second conversion for us? First conversion is supplier ITM C2. Then price list header loader. Right? It is header loader program. It is. This is the way you have to give. Okay. And short execution file name. If you want, you can give this. Let's give. See, it is not accepting the spaces, and as well as lengthy. It is lengthy also. So we can give here ITM conversion to without the space you give it. It will accept it. Okay. Let's see space is accepting or not. Space also it will accept, not a problem. But only thing is it will have limited space in the short name. So we have to give. Of course, it is belongs to pricing, but I am giving order management. Save. Please enter a unique execution file name that is not already used for your application. Who has used this? Let me see. Query. F11. I'm so this someone has used. Okay. What I will do, I'll rename this. Keeping H. Okay, better. These three files. Sorry, I need to other file. These three files. Right. Now, file name I need to change. Is it right? Make sure here. Sorry, I renamed it. Is it? Okay. Keep it here. Then after that, IT here. C1 price headers. C2 content. Your project people will let you know the number. Okay. IT C2 header. After that. So SQL will first select that one, otherwise we'll forget. Okay. Keep it here. We moved already control file and registered as a concurrent row executable. This is the executable name. Short name if you want to take, this also you can take. Don't get confused. The same way, like another two files also we have to do. Okay, it's lines. Follow the same naming standards. Line now. Copy paste will be easy only, but maintain the proper naming standards. Okay. Let's load up. Sorry. Okay. Next is attributes, right? Three things we require. Okay. Overall three executables. The next is concurrent program. So concurrent programs also we have to attach first executable. Correct. And short name, same. Make sure it should not have spaces like this. The same way, check concurrent program naming convention. Executable we have already seen here. Then concurrent program names also same, right? Your client name first, then ICE ID description. Same as it is, you can take it. No worries. Go to parameters. It will have file path, right? Check the control file. The ampersand one is there, right? This is the parameter. File name along with the path. Then one more. New record here itself without closing. Boring, right? This parameters. After this, I'll give little break for 15 to 20 minutes. Then we'll continue. Okay. Third one. Request. Options fine. Anything missed? Program name. We have to change, right? Anyone listening online, guys? Overall, three executable, three concurrent programs created. As for our next step here is we have to attach all the things to request group. We don't know the request group name attached under order management responsibility. Correct. So first time what you have to do, you can go to responsibility window and then order management USA. You can see order management related. So do not take some other request group. We have to go with the order management superuser. See, this is an OEM concurrent program, request group. So this we have to attach. Go to request group here. All the three we can attach. So anywhere you can attach, no worries. No need to follow sequence. Okay. ITM C2. Copy this, that we can keep adding different. Okay. I give all the three appearing here. Whatever I'm giving. Lines. Attributes. Go to order management and submit all the things. First header loader. Okay. Give a file name here. Check the file. Removing this. These are all headers anyway, we are skipping. Three records. Top three records we are skipping while loading. Only it will load first record only. Okay. Make sure you the same way lines. They are maintained different things here. Other one is attributes. As it is, I'm testing. Data preparation is very important. If it is not able to identify the proper join between header and line, then the records will be error. Okay. So give the file name here along with the extension. Warning. Check what the warning. Value used for rows parameter change from 60 rejected is column description. Value too large for column. Yeah, we entered a description, right? That's too large. Description column. One row not loaded due to data errors. If row is not loaded, where you can find out which file? Bad file, right? No, discard is based on the when condition it is. Bad file path, where can you see? You can go a little up here, so you can see the bad file it is. Okay. And clearly it is saying due to large description. This one. Description column is having an error. Actual 33, but maximum 30. We will need that wrong thing here. This one. Length is increased. This also. Rerun this program again. run a number of times. Okay, completed. If you get warning and all, you can just straight away go to log button here. Now, if it is successful also, log only we have to see log information. How many records loaded, how many records rejected. These are all we can see in this one. Okay, one category of records we have to load to one table. Other category like header record into header table, line record we have to load to line table. At that time, when clause is required here, when clause, when condition it is. Okay, this is over now. The same way, second also we have to submit. Sorry. Lines loader. Two rows loaded. After loading, we have to verify to the staging table also here. This record. Okay. Check the line level. Two records. Other one is attribute. Attributes we haven't loaded as of now. Correct. This is old data, correct? Not our data. Let it be. One more last thing in this stage, that is for attributes. Your attribute file. It's replaced. So we had a replace command, right, earlier in the control file. If you look at control file, there is a command here. So that is advantage. If any old data is there, that will be replaced here. Or truncate and committed also. Because of the truncate, it is happened. Okay. It is removed and as well as committed, auto commit. It took a lot of time, sorry for that. So the first stage is over now. Is that okay till now? Yes. File to staging, we loaded successfully. Now the next step here is staging to base table. This is where one API we have to call. But before calling API, we will make sure the validations. Validations means like, so that there is a possibility the price list is loaded by someone. So this loaded by someone, we don't know. At this moment, we are not sure whether this record is exist or not in the database, as well as this currency is valid or not, enabled. These are all we have to make sure. That's called as a validations. In supplier, we have seen many, but here very less validation. Okay, let me show you the package. This package you have to build from scratch, but still you can use the same package in any one of the project. No need to write from scratch. Okay, same you can use in your project also. First specification. The syntax you know, right? If you don't know as of now, no worries. Syntax is fixed here. Create or replace package, your package name. Okay. I'm just giving this because I need to register that, right? Same way, this procedure, let it be internally, nothing will happen. Only outside I'm changing. Only one procedure I'm calling. For every procedure, if you want to register in application, there are two parameters. One is error buff, another one is red code. Red code will have three values. What are they? 0 for normal, 1 for warning, and 2 for error. Now this history you have to maintain. The next thing is here. These are all the record type. You know, right? Difference between record type and table type. This comes under advanced PLSQL. If you are not aware all this as of now, just go through. Yes, B array or else like PLSQL table. Oracle. Just work on one example, you will get to know what is meant by PLSQL table. Without this, you cannot work. So how to declare? See, PLSQL table is very similar to array, and its declaration like type name is table of index by binary integer. Like that syntaxes you have to go at least one example. If you work on this example, then you can understand. Okay, table type and record type. These two you have to work today. There is one more record type. Record type. PLSQL record type with the examples. Go through this page completely. Okay. So these are all declaration only, all variables only, nothing new. Record type, but it will have a different data types. Now in this one point here. So before calling API, this one we have to call. This is called as a FND Global Apps Initialization. Only important point I'm collecting and keep it over here. Okay. The package important points are this one. FND Global is the package. We are initializing to a specific user, specific responsible. Right now, responsibility ID is what it is, order management related. User is what it is, operations user. And application also order management only. Login ID. We logged into the session, that login ID. These are all will come automatically. How it will come automatically here is, so there are certain profile options here. So this one, FND profile dot value, user ID. User ID will be assigned automatically to this variable. So we don't need to pass manually. Your system only will take. These profile values are already defined at one place. The place name here is system administrator. You can go to profile system. At this particular place, profiles are already defined. So to get the values through PLSQL, this one we have to use. FND profile dot value, user ID, RESP ID, RESP application ID, login ID. So simply what I'm saying is, we can give here FND profile dot value, user ID. If you say automatically, it will come to this particular value. Here, one more RESP ID. RESP ID is FND global. One is server side package, other one is client side package. It is. If you want, you can search here the difference between FND global versus. I'll give you this notes. MO global. There are two differences here. Two APSC. All about MO global and FND global. I'll give you just only one line information. That's enough for you. Yes, it comes under application object library. I told you right just before. FND global is a server side package. It will return the value through system. Global variables will be there here, like who is logging in, when signing is in happen, login IDs and all. So we can go through FND global. But where FND profile uses user profile routines. like who has logged in, username, those type of things it is. Responsibilities, application IDs, login IDs comes under FND Global. Then user ID, those are all comes under FND profile. Clear? That's the difference here. Clearly, FND Global and FND profile gives us same result, but they work in different fashion. Okay. This it will give you through system variables, and this will give you through system profile options under a system administrator, whatever we define here. We go through this all whenever we get a time. Detailed discussion not that much needed. Defend global REST ID. Another stuff also same. Application ID, login ID, user ID. These are all. To before calling a API, we have to initialize this. This is the first step. And how we give a values is we don't need to give manually. Your system only will give you by using FND profile and FND global. Clear? First point. Now come here. There is one more also. So this is the one to enable a profile option. Profile option here is there is a if you want to add any price list. Profile. Okay, first I'll show you the problem, then go to Oracle pricing, manager global, price list setup, corporate. Here, because of this plus, you are able to add the item, but this plus will disable by using a profile option. So how we will disable here is system administrator. Then profile system profile name is QP source code for your particular user or operations user. This one I'm talking about. QP source system code is a profile option, and we are enabling to at site level as well as user level. Yes, your system will give top priority to user, the next priority responsibility, least priority goes to site level. It is. If you are giving, for example, your Oracle purchasing, which value system will consider is the value mentioned under the username, because your system is giving top priority to the value mentioned under a user. Clear? If both are same, then that is okay. No changes. If it is not there, means it applies to all the users, all the responsibilities, all the applications. Okay. Site level is the least priority, of course, but it applies to everything. Now, this is the way we can enable a. If you remove this QP system source code, okay, then you can go and check whether it is giving, whether it is allowing the values to enter. We need to go to pricing manager global setup after rate. So can you see now? Is it working here plus disabled? How it is controlled is by using a profile. So what is the profile name here is QP source system code. Here underscore is there, but the name is that. So how to enable QP source system code from backend is by using this profile. In the application, we went manually. In the application, we went through system administrator, then profile. When we clicked on that system, then after that we clicked on user, we provide a profile. These are all same thing your program will take care by using this FND profile dot put. This is an additional point we have to remember. So what should I write here as a comment? to enable profile option value for TLS. Okay. Programmatically, your system will enter some value. Is that clear? Then go to the package. The rest is apps initialize, I told you. And this FND message pop initialize. Yeah, this also we need to know. FND message pop initializes to initialize error messages. Okay. That error package also it will be available. How to handle the errors is because of one API, that is by using, you can see somewhere, FND message pub.get it is. This is a content get. If you want to use this API, then definitely you have to use this initialization. To use any API, we have to initialize this, right? Like that only. To call this error package, you have to initialize it. Otherwise, your API will not work. Okay? All important points I'm listing down here in this package. That's it. Now go, I'll explain clearly. First step here is this variable declaration. I think there is no confusion, correct? Now, second thing is these are all the variables, whatever local variables, and message code is all okay. Cursors, three cursors. Like yesterday, we have taken three cursors. The join between these two is price list name only is the join. These are all printing, enabling profile options, and we are printing into log button. Otherwise, you will not be able to come to know what is the user ID, what is the resp ID. Okay, and this is for error initialization. And for loop syntax, you know already. And we are checking based on this block, begin, end. We are checking how many number of price lists are there in this particular table. If there are 2, 3, then obviously it will be duplicated. We are checking duplicates. See, price list name already exists. Currency code, this piece. These are all called as anonymous blocks because it is not having a name here. So two anonymous blocks. One anonymous block is for name and other anonymous block is for currency. Two validations. The next is what is second for loop. This is for lines. And here also check some values I have hard coded like PLL. These are all we have seen, right? Hard coded. And this is for attributes. In attributes, I have called unit of measurement here. Unit of measurement, if you go here, price list, UOM. First, create one test record. We can come to know what are all important things required. Okay. UOM. Is there any UOM here? Unit of measurement. In this line at least. Correct, you can see here UOM, unit of measurement, and its value. That's another validation. The table name is MTL unit of measurements. Validation is very easy. Just we are checking from that particular base table whether it is there or not. When no data found, then we'll make it error and as well as error message. So if I want to validate the currency, tell me the piece of code. I need to validate the currency code. Begin exception. Yeah. In between begin and exception, what do you have to do? Select currency code into L currency code, local currency. L is variable. Correct, definitely. Fixed it is. Last time also you have said it. Where currency code is equal to L currency code. I will say here, if condition will be there, right? That cursor variable dot currency code as well as Enable flag is equal to y. Perfect. In the exception block, there are two exceptions we can write. One is when loaded upon, another one is when other is done. So when no, and two things we have to update. What is that? Yeah, status flag or error flag, whatever is. Flag is equal to y as well as. So we have to assign. Okay, I'm not typing properly. Sorry for that. Then error message, real error message. Just make sure this local variables saying that currency not enabled, like this. And you have to print it if you want. That is fnd file dot book line. Correct. Same way you can write, right? This is all you have to type. That's what I'm advising you. Type it with your own hands instead of C. Then only PLSQL code will come. Very easy actually. PLSQL is like English, right? Just reading, not like Java, C, C++. Okay, these are all some assignments. Why this next val, curval, this right? ID values we have to assign some existing sequences. These are all existing sequences. You should not give your own sequence. We can identify through some packages. Okay. Then finally API call. So as I told you, API call will have 7 parameters, 4 input parameters, and 3 output parameters. Other than that, your price is header record, line record, attribute record, and then other your table type, record type is all will come to know. If API return status is success, then it's very good. It is executed successfully, and you have to update staging table as a processed because API is executed, loaded also. So we have to make it as processed. In the last conversion, status as C, right? C means completed. Program to program, we just changed for understanding. Or it is your own lookout. If you want to maintain record status C, you can maintain C nowadays. And then why this for loop is required is sometimes you will get messages, multiple messages. You have to concatenate all those messages. That's why for loop is required. If you get 10, 20 record errors, then we have to capture all these error records, right? That's why for loop is required. And if something goes wrong, then we have to make it as error. That's it. Just 250 lines code. Out of it, I explained the main bullet points other than syntaxes and all. So can we see once what are important points in this? One important point is this. What is the purpose of this? Right hand side. To initialize or to get the user ID, RESP ID, application ID, ARG ID dynamically. Is that clear? First point. The next is I'm not explaining cursors and all as you know already. So what is the purpose of this? To enable profile option from PLSQL. Okay. And the purpose of this is before calling API, it is required to initialize. If you want to handle errors, then this is required. FND message pub dot initialize. Validations, 3 validations. What are they? Price list name validation, currency validation, and another one is unit of measurement value. Only 3 validations in this. If you go with the purchase order and all, you will get 30, 40 validations based on the conversion it is. Now, this is the API call. As I told you, 4 input arguments, 3 output arguments, other parameters. API return status will have 3 values. What are they? Success, failure, unexpected. U for unexpected. Then to handle multiple error messages, we have to use this FND message pub dot count and get. We have to use it for loop. Perfect. Yes. So let's compile this and restart as a program. The data will be loaded. Just 2-3 minutes, we'll close the session. For time being only, we'll continue again. Okay. After break. So, if people are feeling bored, it's easy, right? Compared to supplier, because you are habituated with the conversion topic. That's why it is easy. What's next? Prakash, not getting anything right. In YouTube videos are there, two videos. You go through that, you can understand. Take this, go to create code. What is the command we have to use? Is F5, function 5 to compile it. In the same editor, you can compile both specification as well as body. That's why two messages. Package is for this is for specification, this is for body. Package will have two parts, right? Now, how to restore this is we no need to move to any directory like control file, like RDF. In the application server, we no need to move for PLSQ. Remember this point. Then take this package, go to system administrator. Executable. As it is PLSQL, we have to use. Even though it is a package, we have to use functions. We cannot register. Only procedure we can register in application. That's a limitation. Remember. Then order management. Here package name dot procedure. If you don't mention the procedure name, it will not be able to call. Whatever the procedure which is there in the specification, definitely you have to give like this only. Remember this. Sometimes you people are missing this procedure, it will be infinite. Okay. In the execution file name, we have to mention package name dot procedure name. That procedure also, it must be available in the specification as well as body. Local procedures, if you mention, then that will not be able to identify. Okay. The program. Program name I am just changing, guys. Game conversion to package. Are there any parameters in this? Of course, API parameters are there, but are there any procedure parameters? No. These two are also out parameters, correct? To which request loop I need to add? Oh, yeah. This is the second stage and last stage in this conversion. Check view output. There are no view log. So how this is getting printed here? API execution started, what is the user ID and its value? These are all because of you already mentioned in this somewhere here. This one, API executed successfully. That is because of this one. And what is this? Yes. Yes, success, return status. Okay. Check in the base table. PP list errors TL. The recent record you have to take it. Is that correct? Loaded, right? So if it works for single record, then we can utilize it for thousands of records. Just for testing only we have loaded with one or two records. Okay. And you can verify from application as well. This only headers loaded, lines you have to call it again. It's loaded, say. This one. And today only we loaded. Lines not loaded. No attributes are defined for this context and all. We have to call only. As of now in this code, if you observe, it works for headers only. Lines we need to call. I'll give you that code or you can search in Google also. So this is the way we can load price lists. If someone asks you explain the price list conversion, you tell me the flow. Or supplier conversion, if someone asks you, what is the answer? This answer you have to say. Can you read this? Different, same way you have to explain. Can you read? Synonym is like another name of table. The Oracle apps will have all the synonyms. Grant access to Oracle. Next, read. Synonym is another name of table. Another name. Another name. No. Yeah, we can say alias, but here it's exactly another name, and you'll have a data. Oracle apps is based on the synonyms only, not on the tables. Okay. Next, read it. Trading community architecture. Your supplier, customer, bank, person, organization, everything comes under TCA. We'll have a one separate class, just 5 minutes explanation. Okay. Now, in the same fashion, okay, in the same fashion, you have to explain the price list also. So, can you tell me from here? Initially, we'll create a staging table, we'll create a scenario. These are all same. Same as it is for any conversion, even if it is order management or purchase order or requisition, whatever it is. Next, develop a package. Develop a package that contains a validation procedure, instance, error handling, whatever. Validations here I mentioned many, but you have to mention what are the price list I'm talking about. Price list validation. Yes, unit of measurement, price list name, currency. Then that's it. And we'll insert into, we are not using interface tables, right? We are calling package. Package is QP list for that process prices. And finally, base tables are QP list headers, QP list lines. Here supplier, but I am telling for price list. That's it. So you are aware now two conversions, how to answer to the interviewer. I can type also here and I can send it. Okay. So likewise, if you learn 5, 6 conversions, then you can easily crack the interviews. Same as it is. If you want, you can listen interview today or tomorrow, whenever I am attempting. Okay. So please finish this today. So shall we have a class after 15 minutes? Another conversion I'll tell you. Or I'll take another topic. If you feel more about conversion, we'll have some other topics, right, in the syllabus. Shall we see XML or RDF? 15-20 minutes, okay? Half an hour also I'm okay. I'm not having any work today. Okay, take half an hour break, no worries. Go on, relax, come back. Today we'll take another topic. RDF reports. Okay, let's see some other. Can we try this too? Okay, this simple topic only. Cycles, anything pending, guys? For your batch? P2P, O2C, ISO, dropship, back, all completed? Finished. Project I am about to say, but anyway, nowadays, they are not asking in every interview, though I'm trying to avoid for time being. Okay. Any pending topics? XML is pending, right? Form personalizations not covered. Okay, we'll cover form personalization. Okay, form personalization. If you go down here, there are around 9 examples are there. 9-10 examples. We'll cover all this. Even alerts also 5 minutes explanation only. Unix scripting completed, right? AME not covered, workflow not covered. RDF, summary, formula, placeholder, matrix report covered. Okay, today we'll go with the form personalization after half an hour. Okay, so please give me a break also. Break is for me as well, not only for you. Yeah.